are courteous to your fellow passengers, please make sure that you are not standing in anybody's way. And we also ask that conversations are kept to a minimum so that everyone will be able to hear and enjoy their tour. And with that, we'd certainly like to thank you for joining us this morning. And we're going to start coming up here on your left in Millionaire's Row. This first island we're going to see here is Cherry Island, and the green home here is a part of the Twin Pines Treehouse. So there used to be two identical homes over here. They were built by Abraham Abrams and Nathaniel Strauss. The two men were best friends. They married twin sisters. They figured, why not have twin homes? They ended up founding the A&S department stores in New York City together, which you probably recognize today as Macy's. And the second home, unfortunately, you're not going to see today, as it was deemed a fire hazard when the A. Cooper family from Syracuse, New York purchased the property, so they tore it down and used the foundation as an in-ground swimming pool. The White Home by boat. So back at that time, on the weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, they would have live music playing from the island. And then this entire area right here would be filled with boats, whether they were anchored out here or rafting off of one another from the island. Pretty much you couldn't get through here. There were too many boats around. So this was the place to be back then. Over here to your left, we have Mainland. This is all part of Key Wade State Park, which is regional headquarters for about 26 state parks in the area. This one is quite popular as it is sitting right outside of Alexandria Bay. They have an Olympic-sized swimming pool. There are plenty of campgrounds and campsites over here. This large rock you see off to your left, we usually see kids jumping from there throughout the summer. And you'll see the seawall, which is usually filled with people fishing. Coming up over here on your right, we're going to see Comfort Island. This first home you're going to see is called the Comfort Lodge. And this home was originally built in 1881 for the Clark family out of Chicago. For over 100 years, the home was passed on from generation to generation. However, about 2 years Comfort Water sold, and the large seawall built pumped all the water out, so the passengers gravel, and he just made her for Very Own Island. So after the home was completed, Mr. Rose was quite proud of himself. He couldn't wait to bring his wife back here. So they returned to the area. He puts her in the paddle boat. He starts paddling around here. He's got a big smile on his face. He's pretty excited. But he turns around and looks back at his wife. She's sitting back there, like rolling her eyes, pouting. Yeah, so they finally make it over to the island. Mrs. Rose steps out of that boat and she says, you know what? I don't really like this island, and I don't really like this home. The more I think about it, I don't really like you. So she packed her bags and she ends up moving all three. They separate commission fee at the castle, and it's for their If you saw it, there's a large green holding tank in front of